Thanks so much to all my patrons. Join now to help support the channel and help pick the books that I review. Link in the description. And I am done. Okay, so I just finished reading Destroyer of Worlds. This is book 3 of the Saga of the Forgotten Warrior by Correia, and I want to give you my unedited thoughts when finishing this book, which was literally just right now. So yeah, I love this thing. I was kind of wondering as I was getting near the end of this whether I wanted to give it like a 4.5 or a 5 stars, but the ending kind of solidly kind of got me over that hump, and I'm going to give this one another 5 stars. Gave the first one in the series 5 stars. I think the second one I gave 4, maybe 4.5. And this one's going back up to 5. It's just a great book. I had so much fun reading it. Pretty much from start to finish. It's so enjoyable. It's one of those books where I feel like, if all of the books that I read in my life were kind of similar to this one, I'd maybe kind of get kind of sick of the style. But to kind of mix things up with just kind of like action-packed, it's just like awesome, cheering for the tough guys, beating up the other tough guys, awesome evil dark swords and crazy demon magic, and but it's like heavy metal kind of is the background theme to this, kind of like in the Brian Lee Durfee vein, not like exactly, but kind of reminds me of some of that stuff in there. But it's just fun. I love it, and it makes me smile. So I like reading stuff like that. This series was one that was never on my radar. It was one that came to me through my Patreon raffle, just a random raffle wheel spin, and it won, and I never heard of it before. And always when a book wins on one of those I've never heard of before, I'm a little skeptical, because I've been hit with some big misses before. But this one just it's one of the fastest times that I've ever gotten hooked into a story. It was literally like page 1 or 2 where I'm like, I'm really excited about this awesome, mysterious warrior fighting this crazy water demon. And I'm all in. And it's just like the series has progressed to the point now where, not only are we getting that fun kind of action-packed story, but we're getting this like grander scheme, more epic style to the story. We're getting fun multi-POVs that are kind of branching out the story, making it feel like more of a global conflict. We're getting that deeper, like, characterization of this main character, who on the surface is somebody who in the vein of like Geralt from The Witcher, that feels like emotionless because of the way that they've been made or trained as humans to just lack any sort of emotional investment in anything. And you would think it'd be hard to find some like in a character like that, but Correia's done a good way, and he's made this character kind of fight against that or struggle against it, and has made it an incredibly compelling character. Now, so what made this book for me better than the last one? I felt like the last one had all of that fun writing in it, but the plot kind of lost me a bit. It felt like a weird side quest that didn't feel incredibly important to the whole story. Now, it was a fun read, but it felt like a long novella where it was just like, did I need to read this? Can I just read a synopsis? And I want some like meat to my story. Now we're back. Now this story felt like a true novel in the sense of it, with a very solid beginning, middle, and end that moved the story along. I feel like we're getting closer to that. We're not there yet, but it feels like we're getting towards the second half of this series now, and it's moving along, and I'm wrapped up, and I want the worst of worst things to happen to these bad guys. I want the good guys to get everything that they want. Even though there's some gray in some of these characters, they're definitively kind of more on the good side, and I can't help but cheer for them and want the best. So yeah, this is a great series. This is one that I think more people need to give a shot, that I feel like, I talked about this a bit, I think, in the previous couple reviews, but this is an author that I feel like is maligned by a large number of readers because of like his political leanings. He, maybe he'd describe himself differently, but he comes off, at least in what he says online, is like very conservative. And I get, when you're like that boldly out there, you're going to probably draw in like half the readers and push away like half the readers, and And so that feels like a weird choice, right? To be so bold about that. But he's made a big success out of it. Now, I myself don't like to, I just truly don't care about what an author thinks or feels about pretty much anything unless they've been like convicted of horrible crimes. At that point, I might like actually question whether I'd want to consume media from an author. Or maybe like the royalties from that go to something else, in which case I'd be fine reading something from something like that. But I just don't care. I don't care about those things. I just want to read good books. And this is a good book. And I thoroughly enjoy it. Now, if you're super into like conservative politics and you're like, oh, I need to support authors like that, then you should totally check out 𝐂𝐲𝐜. And if you're on the other side of it, you should also totally check out 𝐂𝐲𝐜, because who cares? Like, stop caring about these. Like, just, watch good movies, listen to good music, read good books. Live a happy life. Who cares? You don't need to like overly think about things. But yeah, it's good stuff, and you deserve to give it a try. I feel like this is in the. I'm trying to think of like some other series that this reminds me of, but I kind of keep thinking about the Saga, the Brandley Durfees, but I'm trying to think of something like bigger than that, because I feel like probably more people have heard about this than Durfees, so that's not like a really good comparison. Not very helpful. I don't know. Maybe I'm just really bad at this whole book reviewing thing. Maybe I'm like regressing. I don't know. It's late, and I've had a busy day. So yeah, I'm gonna kick this off there. I'm gonna make this quick. I don't want to spoil anything. This is awesome. Go read it. Give this author a chance. Give this series a chance. And I am going to read much more of this author, because you've probably noticed that I read like a physical book. That's not normal for me. I make a habit. Like I really like ebooks, but every now and then I like to read physical books if I have them. And so Correia, I think his publisher actually, sent me, like, I'm not even lying, like 20 hardbacks that he's written before after I did my one review of Son of the Black Sword, the first book in the series. So I've got like a whole, like, you can't see it here, but like a whole line of out of my shelves is just Larry Correia books. So the Monster Hunter series I have to try out. There's a lot of Monster Hunter books in this one. So yeah, that's the two series I got. All the Monster Hunter books and all of this one. So I don't know that I got the most recent one of this, because I think it came out after I got these. But yeah, so you're going to hear a lot more Correia from me. I'm definitely going to finish the series, and then I'm going to start figuring out what Monster Hunter World's all about. And I don't think it has anything to do with Monster Hunter the video game, but I guess I'll find out, because I don't like to research books before I read them. So yeah, I'm going to wrap it up there. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, happy reading to you. Thanks again to all my patrons, with a special shout out to my Ascendant tier and Librarian tier patrons: Amy, Alex P, Anna G, Doused, Darren, JD, Jerry, Jonathan, Ned's Book Channel, 𝗟𝗏𝗄𝐿, Ron Reich, Russell, Ryan L, Sydney Baker, Slay, Tahir, Anna, Alfredo, Blair, Bevan, Eric Cannon, Joe UK, Kat Mick, Michael Sugarman, Ricky Iman, and Sky. Thanks for sticking to the end of this video, and if you want to watch some more content from my channel, click over here and I've got some good videos for you. Thanks so much.